Previously on the agency.
Mr. Holland showed me Colonel Lynn's autopsy report. He died from an infusion of cobra venom. It was enhanced with DMSO.
To facilitate absorption. Clever.
You think Terry Lowell was responsible for all of this?
I think she is a prime candidate.
You experimented with DMSO, haven't you? Joshua.
Could I speak to Mr. Holland, please? It's Terry Lowell.
Evening, folks. Everyone all right?
Yeah, everyone's fine, thank you.
Are you sure? Nobody's hurt?
Something's happened.
Quinn.
Hey, Hazy, what's up?
What happened?
Two people, a man and a woman, got out of a car and took Lowell at gunpoint after shooting the owner of the vehicle and a police officer. The owner's dead. The officer's in the ER in critical condition.
What about Terry?
She was alive when they put her in the trunk. Stiles, you know this information sharing's a two-way street.
What about the kidnappers?
Got a dozen witnesses. The only thing they'll agree on is that they looked Asian.
I heard there was a kid involved.
A little girl. She's at headquarters right now having a nervous breakdown after seeing her father's body dumped in the road. Feel free to question her, but the only thing she seems clear on is her own name and address.
Okay. Okay, Asian. It's a start. Anything else?
The man who took her spoke English. The car is a silver Pontiac Bonneville with Maryland plates. Not exactly uncommon, and by now they've probably switched vehicles. You want to tell me what's going on?
I don't know.
I thought you'd be gone.
I heard about Terry and came back in. The FBI is sending us their evidence reports. They say they found .45 caliber casings at the scene. That's pretty unusual, right, for a machine pistol? So I spoke to one of the guys at the FBI, and we think, from the descriptions, it was probably a Hauser .45. Most of those come from Asia. This could have something to do with the North Korea operation. Now, I'm trying to follow the car. I'm checking data from traffic cams to see if they ran a red light or something. It's a long shot, but Are you okay?
I will be.
As you know, Terry Lowell was abducted at 10:06 this evening. Police and FBI are on the case with Mr. Stiles assisting. Meanwhile, I do not intend to sit passively by and wait for news. We're going to take the lead on this. Mr. Reese will be heading the task force.
FBI is already sending us crime scene data. Mr. Hazley, you and your analysts have complete access to all our information. Mr. Nankin.
OTS is already at work. From the lands and the grooves on the bullet casings, we think the weapon used to shoot the police officer was a .45 caliber machine pistol, possibly manufactured in China or South Korea.
Korea. We know the mole leaked information to North Korea recently.
How do we know this wasn't a random crime?
We don't.
Oh, come on. Terry Lowell called my office just before she disappeared. She wanted to talk to me in person. Now, there are two possibilities that could account for that.
You think she had information about this mole?
Or she engineered this so-called abduction herself.
Why would she?
Mr. Holland, I am in awe of your ability to be an ass.
She knew we were closing in. In this scenario, she takes herself out of the equation and throws the CIA into disarray at the same time. Miss Lowell is either conspirator or victim. And if it's the latter, then the person responsible could be sitting at this table right now.
The kidnappers put Terry in a silver Pontiac Bonneville. But you would be amazed how many silver Pontiac Bonnevilles have passed through Dulles Airport over the last 8 hours.
Well, what about Ronald Reagan or Baltimore International?
And every regional airport within 100 miles. And train and bus stations. Traffic cams, parking tickets. Believe me,
Lex.
I am checking digital security photos from all over the place.
But it's possible.
Our license plate hasn't turned up yet.
Right, it's possible they change cars or they switch plates.
I'm on it.
We found the car an hour ago. A security guard said an Asian couple drove it in. Styles. Styles, we should leave this to the crime scene people.
You brought me down here, Shaun. I'm doing what I have to do. I don't have time for procedure.
What is it?
Jay, could be a name. Or where she heard they were taking her. Juneau. Jacksonville. Japan. But we need to check the flight itinerary of every single plane out of here.
Yes, but we still don't know if this is the same car. A kid could have scratched that 6 months ago.
No, he couldn't. This is Terry's. This is what she scratched it with. She was here, and she was alive.
Don't touch me.
I need to talk to you.
About what? Betraying your country?
No, we need to talk about who else you might have told. I'm trying to help you.
Well, you could have done that without duct tape or kidnapping.
Did you discuss this with Lex while you were working it out? Styles?
Should I give you a name so you can go after them next?
A name would be evidence of a reasonable attitude, and that could do a lot for you now. It could be the difference between your freedom and more serious methods of interrogation.
So will you be taking part in that yourself, or will you just be supervising?
I'm not threatening you, damn it. This is me. You're taking this too personally.
Miss Lowell.
Who are you?
Jin Yi Kim. Like yourself, a friend of Mr. Nankin's. I would ask you to try to be understanding. We're only doing what's best for our country.
Whose country?
I advise you to listen to him.
You've come to me for advice many times in the past. Take it now. Just tell me who you spoke to. Terry.
Can you still talk the way you always talk? How can you be you and still be doing this?
I'm the same person I was yesterday.
Then I didn't know you yesterday.
Joshua. She is a liability.
I want your word. She won't be killed without your talking to me first.
Joshua, you're our most important asset. Now, you know we want to keep you happy. Sometimes, it's not always feasible.
Your personal word.
Now, you have my word that you'll be informed, unless...
No unless.
Unless your people get too close. Oh, I'm sorry. We can't allow her to fall into their hands alive. It's for your protection.
Yes, of course. Can I be of assistance, Mr. Holland?
I'm fine.
Mr. Holland just wanted to know what I was working on.
Lex is following up on flights out of Allensburg with special attention to any connecting destinations beginning with J.
Actually, since the FBI is doing that, and Stiles and Hazley are going through itineraries checking for anything that might jump out...
Yes?
I thought I'd look at this partial fingerprint from the Pontiac. The one lifted from a ripped gum wrapper found on the floor.
Lex, it's a partial, a bunch of half whirls and a smudge. You can't even classify it, so how can you run it for a match?
I know, but I read about an experimental program to reconstruct...
You can't match it. And even if you could, it probably belongs to the owner of the car. Meanwhile, those flights out of Allensburg have had time to cross half the globe. Do you think you could actually pay attention to the directions I give you?
Sorry.
I apologize.
It's a hard time for everybody.
Who else knows?
Excuse me?
Who else knows? Who else did you tell? Who knows?
You speak English very well. How long have you been in the country?
Stiles, Lex, Hazley, Holland. Who else did you tell?
Slight West Virginian accent. Most people wouldn't even notice. When's the last time you were home? North Korea, I mean. Must have been a long time ago.
We're talking about you.
What do you think will happen to you when the CIA catches up with us?
What's gonna happen to you if the CIA catches up?
You still have a chance to get out of this. I could make you a deal. Say that you help me.
Who else knows? Every flight is being traced, but we're paying special attention to one that ended in Joplin and another that ended in Jackson, Tennessee.
There's also a flight to Mexico City with a freight connection to Japara, Brazil.
When potential connections are added, the field broadens considerably.
She has us running in circles that Jay could be anything, a name, a place, or a classic misdirect.
Mr. Holland, we're doing the best we can under very difficult circumstances, and you're not helping.
With all respect, Director, it's not my job to help.
Sir? Sir, we got something.
There's a fingerprint in the car.
I thought that was partial.
It was. Well, Lex worked on it.
I remembered an article I read about an experimental program that extrapolates fingerprint patterns. The way a weather program uses chaos theory to predict long-term changes.
It isn't anything that would hold up in court, but we got a match. William Yoon, fingerprinted when he got his trucker's license, address in Virginia.
We can't be sure this is the right guy because the process isn't 100% accurate.
Worth following up. Go.
I know you asked me to concentrate on other areas.
No, you did the right thing.
What's this one for?
Just something to calm you down. It'll make you feel better.
So you're the good cop. I don't see your friend around.
He'll be back.
Willie? You sure he's not gonna just cut you loose and make a run for it? By now, half of the FBI and the CIA are looking for
I've been to the same classes, Terry. It's better than the rope. This way you don't have to be tied to the chair. Now, don't be a child.
What the hell is this thing?
Semtex. Not enough to take out the whole building, only you. It'll give you some ability, but if you stray more than 50 yards away from the sentry chip, it's triggered to explode.
Where is this sentry chip?
Safely hidden away. Now you have some thinking to do, and this might help you with that. Make the right decision. Tell us what we want to know, and you can enter a new life.
Or die.
It's on a timer. 12 hours from now, it will make the decision for you.
Joshua, how you holding up?
Oh, just trying to keep things in order here.
Listen, when did you last speak to Terry?
Just before she left for Montreal.
And you didn't see her after she came back?
No, her flight didn't get in till evening, and I'd left early for a reading in a bookstore.
I've been looking into what she was working on prior to her disappearance, and...
Oh?
Did she ever mention anything to you about snake venom?
Snake venom?
Cobra venom, specifically.
No. Mm-mm.
Well, apparently that was what was used to kill our agent in Korea, and Holland had asked her about it. He also asked me about the J. For Jackson, you know?
Oh. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Joshua.
Mr. Ford? FBI, do you mind if we ask you a few questions?
What, did somebody rob a bank or something?
We're looking for William Yun.
Billy's my fiance. He's on a long haul to Seattle. Won't be back till Thursday.
Billy's a truck driver, huh?
Yeah, is anything wrong?
Did he seem at all upset when he left?
No. Do y'all want to tell me what this is about?
We're looking for someone. We think there's a chance Billy may have seen her.
Did Billy ever talk about politics?
Politics? Well, I wasn't exactly a fan of Clinton, but...
How long has he lived here?
Okay, you know what? You're just gonna have to stop and tell me why you're asking.
We're looking for a missing person.
It's possible your fiance may be a traitor to his country.
Of course, it may not be his country. Billy's from Korea, isn't he?
Billy has lived in this town since he was 15 years old. We were high school sweethearts. He does not even speak Korean. Look, I know that you guys are on high alert or whatever, but we're getting married in 2 months.
Unfortunately, sleeper agents can live somewhere for years, have a full life, then one day...
Hello? Hey, babe, it's me. Oh, thank God, honey. There are these crazy people here from the FBI. Billy?
He hung up.
What about airport security footage?
We've got the car entering the parking lot. There's traffic in and out, but so far I haven't spotted a sign of Terry anywhere. Not in the structure, not in any terminal. No sign of the suspects.
Hold it, Go back to the truck.
Timestamp says it's 13 minutes after the Pontiac went in.
Can you get a clear picture of that writing?
I can filter it a little. Buy something.
William Yoon worked for Byways Trucking.
You think they didn't put her on a plane after all? You think they switched vehicles?
The FBI was at my house. They talked to my fiance.
So your cover's blown. It happens. You'll just have to return to North Korea.
Return? What do you mean return? I've been here since I was a kid. Have you read the papers? Eating leaves and acorns over there.
As a national hero, I'm sure you'll get extra acorns.
That's easy for you. Big house, lawyer husband, doctor wife. The SUV is safe. It's all right. Let her go. What's she gonna do?
Where are you going, Terry? A few more steps and your head will blow off.
Terry, please. Please.
You were just going to let her blow herself up?
It's her choice.
She just needed to understand her situation.
I think she understands it. Give us a few minutes.
Why? Could you tell me that? Could you just tell me why?
12 years ago, I was in love with my second wife. She worked in OTS then. I got my job at the CIA so that I could be close to her. Laurel had problems. She was loving and funny, incandescent, and she thought she needed drugs to keep her that way. It was a long time before I realized how bad things were.
Nobody at work realized it?
She was careful. On the job, anyway, and if she didn't show up sometimes, I covered for her.
Maybe you weren't doing her a favor.
She loved her work, and she loved me, and as far as I was concerned, that was good enough. Till one day she finally slipped. Some pills and a vodka chaser with a stranger in a bar, and she blew an operation in Eastern Europe.
And then this stranger came after you.
Jingi Kim. He was willing to keep quiet in return for some little things. They really were little things at the start. And then when Laurel finally crashed and burned, they gave me the money to put her through rehab.
she know where the money came from?
She suspected. I'm pretty sure that's why she left me. Ironic, isn't it? I know this may sound self-serving, but I really believe that Kim wants to overthrow his dictator and see his country become a real democracy.
And he needs you to do it. Joshua, stop staring at your feet and look at me.
Please believe that I'm trying to help you.
You must have thought that I was expendable, or you wouldn't have told them to pick me up. And you want me to trust you?
You've got her wrapped in explosives.
A psychological deterrent.
What about your word?
Your methods, while humane, weren't getting us very far. She's still alive. Been on the phone with my superior for the last 2 hours. In deference to you, I've arranged to have Miss Lowell taken to Korea.
When?
Tonight. We can interrogate her without being rushed. She'll be encouraged to share her technological expertise with our people. But I promise she won't be mistreated.
Thank you.
We're not out of the woods yet. Like I said, if your agency gets too close.
I understand.
Glad I could solve this for you.
Lex, is there anything besides snake toxins that Terry might have been researching before she disappeared? Anything at all?
Sorry. She asked me the name of that bookstore Joshua goes to, but I guess that doesn't count as research.
Why did she ask that?
She didn't say.
Carl, let me test your memory.
All right.
1970s church committee hearings.
They're public record.
Yeah, I know. But this isn't. Before she disappeared, Terry reminded me that the committee had ordered the CIA to destroy all deadly toxins.
True.
And over the years, I've heard rumors that that order might not have been fully honored. Do you know anything about that?
There was one poison that cost over $1 million and took years to accumulate.
Cobra venom.
Right. Supposedly, whoever was in charge of that project couldn't bear to throw it out, so they locked it up. They didn't tell anybody.
Who might have the stuff now?
Possibly somebody in OTS. Where are you going with this?
You're making a dangerous accusation, Mr. Hazley.
I know, sir. But when you look at all the facts...
Joshua Nankin has been with this agency a long time. He is implicitly trusted by Director Gage and myself.
I'm aware of that, sir. And I pray that I'm wrong.
You believe he's our mole?
I do. And I think he may be involved with Terry Lowell's disappearance.
I see. I wonder why Mr. Holland hasn't reached this conclusion.
Well, because I think that he's become so focused on Terry as a suspect that he's lost his perspective.
The condition may be catching.
Sir, with or without you, I'm going to Mr. Holland and to Director Gage.
Actually, you're not.
Sir.
12 years ago, when I was running this place, Mr. Nankin came to me and told me he had been approached by a foreign power. They wanted to take advantage of certain indiscretions on the part of his wife. He received assurances that she would not be prosecuted, and he asked me what I wanted him to do. I told him to welcome their overtures.
You're saying that for the last 12 years, Joshua
has been feeding information to the North Koreans at my behest. Some of it bad, but enough good to keep his credibility high. In fact, Mr. Hazley, he's been far better at it than you were when I asked you to double against the Chinese.
The bookstore where I go every week is a meeting spot. The entire place is under surveillance by the North Koreans. Terry came there, and before I knew where she was going with it, she accused me.
And they heard.
There wasn't much time. I told them to pick her up because I knew they were going to do it anyway. This way, I thought I could retain control of the situation and maybe convince them to keep her alive.
You know where she is?
I've been trying to get her out safely. It's complicated.
I'm just thinking about all the things the mole has done.
Some of it the North Koreans protect their asset. Other things were trade-offs.
Hey, they killed Colonel Lin.
No. That was me.
Why?
Lin had already come under suspicion. They were just about to pick him up. I had Joshua confirm it to enhance his credibility.
We couldn't allow him to be arrested and interrogated.
So you shipped off a little cobra venom.
Another trade-off.
All these trade-offs, are they worth it?
Jingi Kim, born during the Korean War, father an American GI. Brilliant and with a compulsion to prove himself. His recruitment of a highly placed mole in the CIA helped boost his career.
He's second in line to head Korean intelligence.
He'll be North Korean DCI within the year, and he believes everything we tell him. Joshua's credibility is impeccable. Lin was never our best hope in Korea. He is.
You think you can control Korean intelligence?
Given the world situation and North Korea's fondness for nuclear missiles, yes. I think any trade-off that will help protect our country is worth it.
And what about Terry?
I'm going back. I'm going to try to get her out.
No, it's too risky. We may be able to extract her from North Korea later.
Once she's there, we'll never find her. You said not to tell anyone. I haven't. But you can't expect me to sit by.
While she's taken away, still believing that you betrayed her.
No. I won't allow you to undo 12 years of work.
Funny. It's the same thing Kim said to me.
Does Gage know about this?
Of course he knows. He's known all along.
And he's deliberately kept Holland in the dark.
He's done more than that.
Thank you for coming by, Owen.
Have you learned anything new?
Not on Terry Lowell, but I just got off the phone with the Secretary of Defense. He believes the Germans have information on an Al-Qaeda cell that they're not sharing with us.
I assume we've approached them, offered to trade intel?
They deny having what we want. Secretary asked me to recommend someone to run a counterintelligence operation against them. I gave him your name.
You want me to penetrate German intelligence?
It's a big operation.
But I'm so close to finding the mole.
Yes, and the Secretary was very complimentary about that. But this is a priority. He wants you on the first flight to Berlin. It'll only be for a few months. Good luck.
Mr. Hazley, I'm really pressed for time.
You told him?
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
You knew where she was all this time. I've been trying to protect her.
Where is she?
I'm going to try to get her away from them.
No. Where is she?
Stiles, he knows what's going on. You don't. He's got a plan, but he's going to need your help.
If you go crashing in there with a rescue team, they'll try to scatter, and the first thing they'll do is kill Terry.
We can wait for our moment. Wait till she's isolated.
How careful can you be? She's strapped with explosives. I want to go in alone, quietly. Get her out of the Semtex. Once she's free, I can activate this.
It's a neuroparalytic agent. Once it's released into the barn, everyone will be immobilized, including myself.
That's where you come in.
Do they have guards watching the perimeter?
I don't know.
If there are, you can take care of them. You can put a wire on them. You can listen to everything that's going on inside.
He could kill us all.
Do you trust him? The hard part's nearly over.
If your friends are gonna kill me, I'd prefer to know.
Hello.
Lex traced Young's truck using satellite surveillance. He just tracked it to a farm in Virginia. The FBI's scrambling a rescue team, so you don't have a lot of time to warn Kim.
Thank you.
You're there, aren't you? You disobeyed my orders.
I have to go now. We have to get out of here. The FBI's on its way.
There's a van ready outside.
Could you, for God's sake, take that thing off her?
We'll remove it in the van.
Billy, Elizabeth, let's go. Mr. Kim, I need to speak with you. In the car. We don't have any time. I can't in the car. We have people waiting. It will have to be now, sir. I'm not going back with you.
What do you mean?
I'm staying. I've been thinking about it for a while, and I'd rather stay here.
You broke your own cover. They know who you are. Now, how can you possibly expect us to let you stay anywhere?
Okay.
Once we're out of here, you can return to your life. We'll call you if we need you.
Terry, you'll be all right. Trust me. She'll be okay.
You better get out of here. The FBI is coming.
And I advise you to take this thing off around my neck because I won't be the only one blowing up. Stop! Just stop! Unless you want to drop your most valuable asset!
Terry.
There's no time.
Don't look so surprised.
She could still be alive.
Not for long.
I'm gonna get this thing off you. Ready?
Here we go. I'm sorry, Joshua.